is going on, guys? Welcome back to another session of Build Break and Fix, brought to you by the Raw Coders. Yes, and today we have the T-ball, which is Fanesh. How are we feeling, Fanesh?
Hey, Zane. Yeah, feeling good as always. Feeling better from the other day as well. I was sick, but yeah, feeling great.
Fantastic. That's really good to hear, and it's always good to, as in, when you're not feeling good, as in take some time off, and because it, even if you force yourself, you won't be able to be at your best state, and hence not productive at all.
True.
So, which means that you did the right thing.
Yes.
Hey, Gagdev, good to have you again, as always.
Hey, Cliff. Yeah, good to see you.
Fantastic. All right. So first thing is first, let's acknowledge the country and pay our respects to the elders of the past, present, and future. So there goes. I begin today by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we gathered today, and pay my respects to the elders past, present, and future. I extend that respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people here today. That is brilliant. So that is all done. Ganesh seems like Dev has a question for you, and he's wanting an estimate.
No, not yet, Cliff. I need to talk to Tori as well to organize the recording. But yeah, we might have to might need an extension on that. So, like, similar to the project on the show as well.
Yeah, if you didn't point it out what the functionality that we missed, it might have been a bit too late to recognize it when all the testing is done, and all our users are asking, okay, that doesn't do it, and we're like, oopsie, we need to go back in dev mode.
Uh,
And yeah, so that's the part where which Finish and Tori are gonna be implementing, but I will do them manually now. So as a part of paying our respect to the Australian Aboriginals, we also extend our respects to the Bali Aboriginals as well, and yeah. Okay, cool. So in terms of the progress we made on Friday and Sunday, which is yesterday, was we planned out all the how we're gonna save the board columns in the database. So do you want me to take you on that?
yes, please. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So I'll just share my screen. Actually, if you want to open up your screen in Jira, because it's all there, and I'm trying my best to keep that all up to date. And I did, by the way, see how everything was beginning to be organized.
Nice.
Surprise, surprise! Guess who's here?
Hey, how are
Hey,
you,
Tori.
fellas? Nice to see everybody here at once. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
Free raw
yeah.
code, free super rulers.
Yeah, we hardly get to do this. Just three of us, so yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that reminds me, Zane, the music.
Ah, yeah. Okay,
Should
this time, yeah, go on, finish. You were gonna say something.
I was gonna
I'm
say,
not.
should Tori choose the letter this time?
Okay,
Since
yeah. Tori, you're cool. In
Uh,
3, 2, 1, go.
E.
Daydreaming or feeding the ducks.
Daydreaming.
Day-
I don't think we've heard that one yet.
Are you sure you want to hear that one?
I do.
All right. Finish. Let's hit it.
Okay.
E for. I don't know. Actually, that was just random. I don't have a reason.
E for extension.
Hey?
E for extension.
E for extension.
Oh, by the way, Tori, you and I have to work on creating the.
Football jersey. Sorry, what?
Yeah.
Oh, you and I gonna work on the recording for the acknowledgement of Aboriginal people in Bali in Australia. We're gonna re-record that. Just letting you know.
Okay.
So
Good.
GecDev's idea is that I say one line and then you say another line.
Okay. Sure.
Okay.
Do it.
All right.
Thanks, GecDev. 10
Yay,
points.
10 points to
Gryffindor.
Gryffindor. That's
Slytherin. Oh, Zane just turned into Slytherin. What's going on there?
there?
Whoa, Zane, what happened?
I just
Okay.
paid my electric bill, by the way.
Oh, good. Good. Keep the lights on.
Yeah.
Man, I feel like I should be wearing a dark shirt.
That's all right. Tori, do you want to take Finesse as in what we discussed about the board columns?
Sure.
As in just a really brief one, because I would actually like that we can actually start implementing the front end to wire up the back end as well in this session.
Okay. Actually, let me see if is the website up. No.
And no, it wouldn't be up because yeah, I take it down. You can use the original web app.
I'm gonna
That's
just hop into DynamoDB. I think it'll just be a little bit easier to explain.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I got to enter my auth there. Okay.
Just answering GecDev's question. No, not yet, GecDev. By the way, I looked up the Terraform CDK, like you said, and yeah, really interesting. Actually, I didn't quite know about it, and yeah, I can see the benefits, but yeah, I need to do more research on it, to be honest.
Terraform CDK.
Yeah, you can use like Python or TypeScript
Nice.
to generate Terraform code, basically, and then
Nice.
provision infrastructure. So it's pretty cool.
Nice. Yeah, I haven't tried the AWS CDK yet, but I want to get rid of these damned CloudFormation templates. All right, I'll share my screen.
Okay.
And then, all right. All right, yep, perfect. All right, let me zoom in. Zoom. All right, so we have in DynamoDB, we have the list of our notes from just a random board. It doesn't matter. But I had to pick that one.
Tori makes me laugh.
So this is one node, right? So it has a node ID, a topic, the text, the color of the note, and the position, which has a top and a left. So these top and left key value pairs, these values are just the coordinates on the page, so the document body, the board. So when we look at the board page and we're creating those columns, the columns have nothing to do with the positioning of the notes, because the notes positioning is handled by the client-side code that just basically updates a CSS property and says, hey, put me here on the page, and that's it.
Okay.
So it has no other, and I didn't write that code. That code already existed, so I just went with it.
Okay.
Because that's how the front end code generates and positions those notes, and then we just save these coordinates to the database. And so when you load up the board page, then it just gets these notes and then runs that code basically to just generate the note with JavaScript and just stick it in that particular position on the body of the page.
Okay.
So yesterday we were talking about how to handle creating the columns and saving them. So it's because of the way the code is written, then we don't have to worry about the columns and the notes, like they're not dependent on each other.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Makes sense?
Yes, makes sense.
So basically the columns, when you click create a new column, I looked at the code. Basically all that happens is actually, let me pull it up here. Terribly. I think we're done with this. But whatever. Oh, are you VS Code? Come on.
This Zane wasn't in our original MVP, right? Like the columns you were saying the other day.
So they were supposed to be in the MVP, but for some reason I forgot that those buttons were there for the columns.
Oh, okay.
Or they were even there in the first place. That's what you highlighted, and then I was like, whoops.
Okay, makes sense.
All right, let me find the symbol here. Create card. So this is script.js. I'm waiting for the editor to catch up. This happens when this is interesting because it's only slow for me on StreamYard. When I do other streaming on Google Meet or Discord, it's not slow, it's fast. I don't know why StreamYard.
I think it's probably because it's anyway, yeah. Continue, that's not important.
Okay. So I can talk about that. interesting thing. Let's see here. Blah, 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 blah. All right. Where's the initial? So slow. Oh, it's still activating the extensions. Okay, let me just go back to where that was manually. Sorry, I don't know why it's so slow, but basically what happens is script.js, so whoever wrote this, basically there's this get message functionality, and then whenever you send it a message, you have this switch statement with the action. So then we go down to the actions, blah, 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 blah. All right, initiate columns, basically. So here we have columns, we have data, and I'm assuming, and so if we go to this function, it didn't take me to the function. There we go. So we have an array of the, it took me to the wrong function. That's weird. Come on, VS Code. No. Check the column. So we have a column array. I think the column array is just an array of text.
It must be.
And then I don't know what this is doing, but I don't really care. And then the column, I'm guessing the column, and then it draws a column. All right, so we let's keep following the code. All right, so the column name. So basically, it takes that column name from the columns array, and then it just creates the UI for the column. And that's it. That's all it does. That's all it does. And then when you just save function, this is like editable. This is just like when you update the column name. All right. Okay. So we can just yeah, and then there's this on column change function too. So we can just tap into those existing ones and just when we get the board data from DynamoDB on page load, then we're just gonna basically hook it up to these existing functions here, and then it will just create the columns.
Makes sense.
Yep. So all we need is an array then in DynamoDB of column names. That's it. They're just strings.
Okay.
And I think the order, you're just using like the order of the array is the only thing that matters. So it's just like in order array. I think just use the index.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple.
Ordered list. Yeah.
The next step for us is to save the column information, right? Or in DynamoDB. Okay. Yeah. Cool.
And by the way, I think the backend is already done for inserting when it creates the board. So all we need to do is basically just do some front-end bish bash bosh, and then it's all there.
Nice. Okay.
Which is where our front-end guru comes in.
Sorry.
How much was turd.ly per year?
I think it was $5 million per year. That's why I didn't get it.
Totally. Curious.
This code isn't even ours, right? I mean, this was just this original Scrumble code, right? The one you're looking at right now.
Yeah.
It's all jQuery.
Yeah.
I don't know when it was written, but it's probably, I'm guessing it's before like more modern JavaScript. That is the only reason you would be using jQuery usually. So probably it predates like, ES 2015.
Yeah. True.
I mean, Scrambler, like the original Scrambler Scrambler is pretty old, right? Like, I mean, at least 10 years old. I think. I don't know.
Probably. I
Probably.
don't know either.
Yeah.
All right, shall we get into some action, Tori?
Sure. You want to share your screen to do the backend stuff, or
I thought backend was already there.
is it?
We just needed a kind of a array from the front end to push it in the backend.
Okay. So we need to find where those column names are getting saved. Wonder if they're actually.
You know
let me
where
see
you
if-
had your columns in script.js? I think you might be over there.
Yeah. Good. All right. Let's. Oops. Jeez. Slow. Looks like there's some column symbol up here. What is this? Total columns.
Yeah, I think the columns, the array is the actual thing that we want,
Okay.
and the
So-
total columns is just number of
Count.
columns.
Yeah. Okay. So let me do live server, and then we can check if this is the actual variable we want
Yeah.
to get.
Yeah.
And if it is, then all we have to do is just send that along with the post.
Yeah. That's all, job done. Go live.
Yeah. That's it. Pretty much. I think we need to hook up the WebSocket part. But most of the code already
Yes. Mhm.
most of the code already exists. It's just a matter of like hooking it up.
Yeah. I agree with you. Why does this still come on? Boards and no save successfully. It shouldn't come on.
Oh,
I think I got
let
rid
me
of that.
maybe I'm on the wrong branch actually. Nope, I'm on dev. Should I be on a different branch?
You probably want to go on board columns.
Board columns.
Mhm.
Create a new branch.
Oh no, it should already be there. Let me check. I'm pretty sure I pushed it. Board columns feature.
Huh.
Me and these long names.
That's weird. Why don't I see it?
Maybe
Board
you need to git fetch
columns,
or
probably.
How do I
So board
fetch the branch?
hyphen.
you could probably just git fetch up and then it should populate, I
Oh,
think. But
okay. I don't know why it didn't to begin with.
Server is now offline. Oh,
That's okay.
that's your one.
Just killed it. That's weird. It's up there on GitHub.
Yeah. And if it's not there, then I'm a liar. Raw
Why is it-
coders. Yes, it's a board columns feature.
you're trying to get the front end, right? Tori, I don't see a branch either.
Oh, sorry. The branch was the backend one for the front end. It needs to be created. My fault.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. All right. So what do we want to call it?
Anything short.
I'll just name it the same thing then. Board
Yeah, I think that would be useful.
like that.
Yeah.
All right. Now let's go live.
Yeah, Dev, Tori's about to do some bish bash bosh now.
Bash
Front
bosh.
end.
Bosh. Sounds fun. Oh, this is already open.
Apparently, that's
Go here.
the new UK term for getting things done. Bish bash bosh.
Is it?
Is it? Bash bosh.
Apparently, because yeah, I speak to my fellow dev who's based in the UK, and he says it a lot. Yeah, and do this bish bash bosh, voila.
Is there a board that has notes on it?
Yes, there should be a board. Let me tell you which one.
What's
Get
what's
boards.
what's the turd lay board?
No, I'm not gonna tell you that one. It's dev test.
Dev test? Okay. That's with a capital T?
Yeah.
Okay. It does have the turd.
You know what might have just happened? Oh no, that can't happen. No. Really, I didn't see the board. As in, I didn't see what kind of notes there were in the board.
Okay.
Fun times.
Yeah. Do we have a new post? Is there what ended up happening with the code on save? What ended up happening with the on save code? Anything?
What do you mean on save code?
Like when we click the save button.
Oh no, we just left it, right? The one that Zane and I were discussing or debating about, like last week. Is that what you're talking about, Tori?
Maybe.
I think we left it as to what we had.
Oh, is that the one where you were saying that we should insert all the notes in one request? Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, Tori, that was basically kind of, we left it there and there because it wasn't logical to insert the nodes that are already present in the database but haven't been changed to insert them again.
Okay. I wonder if there's a flaw in the code though, because like we might be doing that anyways. Maybe.
So that's where the status comes in.
Okay.
Get board's name.
So here we have the patch notes on save. This is what I want to look at.
Yeah.
Patch notes. So all I want to do is just when we click the save button, I want to log out that What was it called? The array
Columns.
of columns?
Yeah.
Cool.
He's poorly, Gagdev. He's poorly. Allow him. Oh, that's
And
again a kind of a British word
Viral
saying
there.
sick.
Sorry.
Poly?
Poorly, yeah. It's poorly. Oh,
Oh, okay, I see.
is it logging it? Oh, you probably wanted to do a JSON stringify it or not? Items.
That's not the right line, right? I mean, you did 645.
You're right. I don't see anything. Odd.
Is it even saving? Have you pressed submit as in password
What
and then
is-
submit?
What is going on here? Jeez. I did. I clicked save. What is this set interval? Why is there an interval? What's going on there? That is weird. Huh. Okay, well, that seems not good. I don't even know what that's from. I click save. I'm not seeing it logged to the console. Did I not pick the right code?
Passcode form. Isn't it on submit, Tori? Did you click submit?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's not on save. All right, let me move this in. Good call. Save no. And talk to me. Yeah, blah 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 blah. Click. Okay. Let's do it here then.
I think Jagdev, that's because we are playing the music as well, so that generally tends to slow down Tori's laptop.
Like, yeah, I don't
Shall
know.
we
I don't know why it's
close
so
the music?
slow.
Hang on. How about now? Is it a
I
bit
think
faster?
maybe. I think so. Okay, here. This came
Alright.
up now. It does seem a little bit faster.
Okay, so
Okay.
it's come up now. And
Add
what does it
columns.
have in the array?
Nothing, because there were no columns
Oh.
to start. I am a column. Thirdly.
Come on, dude. Come on.
Hey, I'm just
Tori loves it.
for the fans.
For the fans. For the fan.
Okay, and here we go. Yeah, so we got new. I'm a column. Thirdly. Perfect.
Okay, cool.
So that's what
So
we
we
needed.
can just pass columns to the post request and then boom. Bish bash
Boom,
bosh,
that.
done.
Bish bash bosh, done. Okay, put that back. Now all we need to go is find those. Oof. Can create board. Okay, patch notes on save. That's what we want. In here, we have patch note and post note. So do we how do we want to do it? Do we want to create a separate call?
So we probably I'm thinking that we probably don't wanna include the columns in the when you're saving the notes, because this is doing exactly that. Am I right?
This is just saving the columns.
This is saving the
The
notes.
notes.
Oh, this. Yeah, this is saving the notes. Yes.
And if you go a little bit up, post, yeah, a bit more.
Okay, I'm outside the. I'm like
Okay,
stepping
yeah.
into another function.
So we probably want to save the array in the item. So if you go up,
Save the array in the item.
so in from line, can you go down please a bit?
This. You want to look at this post?
In the body object.
Oh, we're not actually using this one. This was for
Are we not?
this here.
No,
This
we're not
was
using that.
Yeah.
to do it all at once.
Oh, yes, yes.
So do you want to save the, but then you're saving the columns every time you save a note. Don't you just want to make a separate call, save the columns?
That'd be ideal. Yes. Yeah. Because I thought that the body objects was just doing once, but not every time we are saving the notes. Yeah, you're right. We probably just want another request to save the column itself.
Okay.
We will only be saving the columns when we save the node, right? So does it matter if it's in with the when we save the
It
nodes?
doesn't, but then you're saving them every time as well. Every time you patch or post a note,
Oh, okay. So
you're
you're
doing that for each note. You're just writing like extra.
Mhm,
You're writing the columns every time,
mhm.
even when you're saving a note. But for every, you're just like doing extra work when you're doing extra writes. You don't need to.
Yeah.
Makes
Yeah.
sense. So we'll keep track of when the columns are saved then, in that case. Whether it's inserted or not, similar to the nodes, I would say, right?
Um,
How would we keep track of that? Just wondering.
Say that again, please. Finish.
So we would keep track like the state of whether the column has been saved or not, similar to how we have done with the nodes. Wouldn't that be the case? Like we're using here, inserted, not inserted. We would have to do the same thing with the columns then, correct?
If in the case that the user, when they guess the board, then they want to add another column to all the existing one, yes. So essentially, there'll be two scenarios, exactly how the notes are being saved. So we would have to save the columns the way we are saving the notes.
Mm-hmm.
Does that ring a bell,
or
Tori?
we could just simplify everything by saving all the notes, the whole board at once. And then we just eliminate all this extra code because when we just save all the notes, all the columns, the board name,
Right.
everything.
And this
Everything.
was a discussion that me and Finesh were having 2 weeks ago. That we spent that the crowd was really spicing it up. Yeah, exactly.
Um,
I know
okay.
you like writing code, Tori, but it's got to be efficient code, yeah? Efficient code.
Um, so you
What's on your
want?
mind, Tori? I'm
I'm
curious
thinking.
now.
So.
He's
so,
going back in circle now.
so I'm thinking that, if you wanna like track the status of whether or not the columns should be written to the database, then you would just if you wanted to do it locally, then I would just say create a function where you just check if anything in the boards array has changed compared to the previous boards array. And if they're different, then just send it.
That's exactly how the nodes are working, Tori, but the use of having a property called status in each nodes, which is
Yeah,
how
but
we.
but this time we don't have to have an inserted or a not inserted. We can just do a quick check because it's a small array. So we can just have a previous column state and
So basically, it's an alternate method to not using statuses, isn't it?
yeah, because if it
Yeah, that's
is
fine then.
if it's yeah, because then we have to go attach the status to it and then
Okay.
yeah, it just seems more complicated to go back if you want to get it done faster is what I'm thinking, because then we have to go to script.js, track when it changed, all this stuff, because like if you change the name then it should be updated, you know.
Yeah. So you're suggesting that create a function, and when it saves the column, it should check which columns are already there first, and then it won't insert that one, but it would insert the different ones that weren't present in the first place. Am I right?
No, I'm just saying
Okay.
if anything in the columns array has changed.
Mm-hmm.
So like if we have columns, right, and then we just let's pretend there's another global variable called prev columns, which is columns, right? At start, right? Because there is no prev columns, right? So then every time we save, then we just check if columns, which is an array, is 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 different than prev calls, the previous columns, right? So in JavaScript, you can't simply just compare two arrays. You have to check, like we would have to check every value and see if that value at that index is the same. And if anything has changed, then we just simply send the request. It's just easier.
Yes.
We don't have to, unless you want to update each individual index in DynamoDB for that particular column, but I don't.
No, yeah,
Complicated.
that would just make it a lot more complicated. Or there's one way they just suggested already, as in comparing the previous columns in the array, or we could use a find method and check that if there is a column that doesn't exist already, using the find method in the array. If it's not already in the array, then we basically insert it.
But we also need to track if they change the column name. Honestly,
True.
we can be really lazy about it if you want, and you can just do like an array to string, and then compare it to prev columns to string, and then if those are not if those are different, they're not equal, right? Then you know something has changed. And then
Yeah.
you just send along the new column. And then you just update the so not equal. And then send the post request with the columns, right? And then update the previous columns.
But then this would basically insert the, so say if we have to do, doing and done, and to do and doing are already inserted in the database, and do we wanna insert the done column as well, but we changed to do as well, as in terms of updating it. In that case, if we use this method, then basically what's going to happen, we would have the to do old value, to do's new value, and then done as well. Does that make
Sorry,
sense?
sorry, say that one more time.
Okay, so say with this method you have two columns at the moment,
Yep.
to do and doing, and you press save.
Mhm.
That's done, all saved perfectly fine, bish bash bosh. Then you get the board, you already have to do and doing, but you want to add one more, which is done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but then you realize that you forgot to put a space between to do, so
Mm-hmm.
you put a space between to and then space do.
Mm-hmm.
In this method, what I basically have a kind of a hint from my brain that it will save 4 columns in total instead of 3. So to do
Mm.
would already be there without the space. Then there would be another new column called to space do, and then doing, and then the new column that we have inserted, done.
There's a lot of do's in there. Um,
Uh,
okay.
but did you get my point?
Are you
Or not?
saying, are you updating the name?
Yeah, so we are inserting a new column and updating the existing column.
Okay. I think the string method should take care of it. This is, what do you get when you do a toString? You get this like string with right here. Like can you guys see this?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
All
Mm-hmm.
right. So let's say if I do let's just change one of these, blah blah, and then we can change the next one. Fish bash bosh. Okay. Right. So this would be the the like the previous column or something,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, as a string,
Okay.
right? And
Yeah.
now our new columns is this thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's this previous column string
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
is not going to be equal to columns of string, right? So it's true because it's not equal. Or
Mm-hmm.
okay, if that's not clear, then
Mm-hmm.
equal. They're not equal.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So if we even where's the button? There it is. If we remove these and we still blah blah, right? Then the columns to string is still false. So that's good. So that means it's changed. I mean, this comparison means that this old value of new, like our initial value as a string of the column as a string is now different from the current columns, which
Yes,
is
and
which is
then what's gonna
long.
happen then?
Then we would post. We send the post requests.
Alright, but in the database, the old columns are still inserted
Why?
because we inserted the old columns already.
Yeah, we just overwrite them.
Oh, okay.
So basically, the same thing that me and Finish were discussing, that is approach. That approach is being taken for the columns now.
What approach were you guys talking about?
So when Finish was saying that on every request we can just send all the notes even if
Oh,
they're
okay.
already inserted or not,
Mhm.
we don't really care. So we just keep us sending the already inserted notes again in DynamoDB.
Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. This way we just overwrite the board column array in DynamoDB with the new board column.
Honestly, I don't mind taking this approach with the board columns only because it would just be an array of strings, not 5 or 10 objects.
True.
So we can possibly take that approach. Yeah, that's fine then.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. It's a good idea.
Okay, and then it's simple because um,
Jack, that was really good at as in turning the raw coders against each other. I can tell. As in spicing up things.
so all we need to do
Yeah.
is this here. So we add this global to script.js, and then when we send a post request, we're just going to update the previous columns. But the nice thing is that columns already is updated in script.js. Whoever else wrote that code, so we don't even need to track. We don't need to
Mm-hmm.
update it. It's already
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So we just need to write this post request or whatever we're going to do here to basically send along the new columns. Is that what we're going to go for? Are we going to make a new route
So
or
columns the string is not equal to, if it's not equal to that one, then previous column equals to columns. Yeah, that would do it probably. And in terms of the route, I'm thinking, when we are pressing save, we are not just only inserting all the nodes, but we are also inserting the board details, as in just once. So
okay?
if you go to post notes, it's all there.
Touch note, post note,
Post notes, yeah, that one. I'm thinking.
single note.
No, it wouldn't be here. No, that's my fault. There was a body object taking board name and passcode, etc., etc. maybe do a find on body.
You mean the post notes?
Body. And
This one?
probably
This
just
one?
do. Yes, that one.
But this one we're not using. This is the one I wrote for
Oh,
this code.
okay. Right.
That's the one we were discussing.
Okay. Yeah. All right, then in that case, probably. But I'm thinking that if we add another request, that's gonna be complicated because then we also have to write another request in the backend.
Yeah. Yeah, is there another route we can just use?
Or we can use the existing board thing that's already being inserted when we press save.
You mean the patch note and post note?
Probably.
But then okay, the only that's fine. The only thing is that then you're writing these columns to the database every single time, even though you only need to do it once.
Let's create a request.
you're like, ugh.
Yeah, we can just create a request and
That was a good
totally
reaction, Zane.
isolated.
I know.
Oh wow, it's 10:30 already.
That just post notes method now is looking pretty tempting, isn't it?
To be honest, very tempting. I keep on turning back to that now for the scenario, especially for the column.
Because it just handles all scenarios for you. Magical.
It just handles one, which is a really expensive scenario for the credit card holder. All right, let's call it a day and come back to tomorrow. If you can push the code, Tori. Yeah, just to you.
All right, I will push it.
Brilliant.
Bish bash bosh.
That's basically how you say brilliant in Spanish.
What is it?
Brilliante.
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 Nice.
Gracias.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Are you learning Spanish then? Oh.
No, there was a Spanish colleague probably 6 years ago, and he told me just two words of Spanish, gracias and brillante, and that just struck to my head. They are not going away. It's been 6 years. But anyway, finish.
Thanks, Jeff.
Do you want to do the honors?
Yeah, sure thing. Oh, thanks for joining us, everyone, on another episode of Build, Break, and Fix. Today we had a good discussion on how we can save the notes in the DB, and I think we decided with comparing the previous not the notes, sorry, the columns, comparing the previous columns with the updated columns and seeing if there's a change, and then pushing all the columns at once to DynamoDB. So that's still to be implemented. And if you'd like to see that, come join us on the next episode tomorrow, same time. Since there's three of us, I thought we could do
one each. Let's go, Tori.
Same time.
Same place.
and a different task.
All right.
All right, guys, have a good night and thanks for joining.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Have a great night.